I was the stand-in the Vance crown prince had handpicked. When his white moonlight returned, battered and sick, he marched a squad of doctors and bodyguards into my bedroom on my birthday, ready to steal my last kidney without a shred of mercy. I laughed. Because my real job description was federal guardian. This is the last time. The birthday cake candles were still smoldering as I stared at the black and white crowd in front of me and let out a disbelieving snort. Morgan, I already gave you one kidney. A fake one, but still. My voice was soft, threaded with hysterical despair. Morgan's brows knitted not out of pity, but menace. Remember, your mother's still in the hospital. Watching the doctor pop open his kit and pull out a sedative syringe, I scrambled backward, shrieking, Morgan, you're really driving me to my death. You'll pay for this. Tears flooded my face. The doctor opposite me hesitated, glancing at Morgan. Morgan only barked, "Get started," his face blank. The medics finally pinned me down, iron restraints locking over my body. I couldn't move an inch. Suddenly I stared past Morgan and yelled, "Look, alien monster." He never turned, just sneered. Don't try. The next second the 8-armed octopus creature wrapped itself around him, slime squirting from every sucker straight into his mouth, gagging whatever heartless words were left. Disgusting mucus coated every corner of the room, the doctors holding me retched from the stench. Chaos erupted. The once ominous medics and bodyguards scattered like roaches. The giant octopus cackled, trashing the mansion at will. That's when I snapped the iron restraints like licorice, smiling sweetly as I pulled out my armor beacon. 3 seconds later I armor-upped as hippo armor and pounded the octopus into calamari. Morgan gaped up from the floor. I sneered, "Told you there was a monster." Then I wiped his memory. 2. I'm a tenured guardian. 5 years ago, when alien monsters first appeared, the feds formed an emergency task force. With Captain's help, I landed an ironclad civil service post. Before that, I was just another hungry kid who couldn't afford school. Captain spotted my talent, coached me, and got me assigned to the hippo armor slot famed for raw power and sonic blast flatulence. I picked my way through the rubble while radioing Zachary, large octopus alien monster at the Bainbridge mansion eliminated. Posing as Morgan's white moonlight Tiffany was a plum undercover operation cooked up by HQ. Octopus-type monsters had been circling him lately, clearly he'd landed on their snack list. I was supposed to keep him breathing, yet here he was, ready to harvest both my kidneys for his precious first love. My calendar pinged, new mission in 10 minutes, job interview for executive assistant to the president of Hale. Black armor goons had been spotted around that building. Intel said the CEO was thick with them, probably hosting a nest and several top lieutenants. I swapped into a pencil skirt and sprinted to the tower. I slammed headfirst into a warm wall of chest outside the conference room. Strong hands steadied my head. The man was drop-dead handsome, ice-cold, suit immaculate, flanked by suits of his own. Hale? A memory I thought I'd buried detonated. 3 months ago he'd been my boss while I vacuumed his carpets to flush out a lurking alien monster. Remember me? I trembled. Simon, ruthless tycoon with a temper as spotless as his suits, had roasted me daily over dust bunnies. The day I cornered the monster, I'd let off a long, noxious fart to force it into the open. Rumor had it the stench wilted his prized orchids. The neat freak CEO slapped up a wanted poster for the mystery farter. Rule 1 of field work, never get made. After bagging the creature I ghosted, leaving 10 months of prepaid wages in my wake money, I later sank into armor repairs. Now, months later, he still recognized me. I've got somewhere to be. Spotting my resume, he stepped aside. You're interviewing for the executive assistant slot? I nodded. His dark eyes flicked over me, suddenly he smiled. Fine. Show up at the usual desk tomorrow. He strolled off. I gaped at his retreating back until his assistant jogged up and pressed an employee badge into my hand. Didn't you hear? Boss just bought the whole division. Welcome aboard. For I never expected memory-wiped Morgan to still obsess over my kidney. He parked his Rolls-Royce at the curb, leaning against the driver's door in a tailored suit, cigarette glowing. I squared my shoulders and walked over. What are you doing here? I had to break up again, permanently. Who said you could get a job? His voice was low, dangerous. Morgan's confidence ran so deep he thought every woman wanted a sugar daddy. I have to eat, you know. His scowl deepened. The monthly allowance isn't enough? Alex, know your place. Buddy, show some respect for a federal employee. I inhaled. $500 a month, yeah, that doesn't exactly cover groceries. 5 Morgan strong-armed me back to the Vance estate. At the gate we ran into my new boss. Simon stood 10 yards away, posture perfect, aura untouchable. He looked us over, amused. Your girlfriend? He asked Morgan. Turns out Simon was the neighbor who never set foot in his own mansion. Morgan's face soured, he didn't claim me. Of course stand-ins don't get titles. I beamed polite smiles at Simon until Morgan's phone rang. Tiffany's voice rang clear. Connor, the doctor just told me I am pregnant. Seriously? I watched Morgan's face cycle from shock to joy and wanted to slug him. Jerk. I'm on my way to the hospital, he barked, sprinting back to the car. He yanked me toward the passenger seat, but before I could climb in someone tugged me back. Simon slid smoothly into my place. I have a follow-up appointment, he told Morgan coolly. Mind giving me a lift? 6 Morgan tore off to Tiffany's ward, abandoning me in the hospital lobby. The nerve dumping the official girlfriend to babysit the mistress? I hovered awkwardly beside Simon. Fancy seeing you here, boss. What are you having checked? He never looked at me. Checked? Did I say that? Then why tag along? Silence stretched. I sat next to him, he sat ramrod straight. Boss, should I start early and grab you a coffee? Anything to kill the cringe. He finally flicked his eyes my way. Fine. He loosened his tie. Tie it for me. 7 right when I was about to show off my knot tying skills, Morgan stormed back. He yanked me upright. What, I'm not even cold in the grave and you're flirting? Simon's tie was still in my hands, definitely looked cozy. Dumping you to hit on me seems a smart upgrade, Simon murmured, smoothing his collar. Morgan's eyes bulged. I stepped between them before fists flew. Moments later Morgan dragged me to Tiffany's room. I've got a meeting. Stay and look after Tiff. Excuse me? I'm not your nanny. You want your girlfriend to babysit your mistress and your baby? Morgan's eyes narrowed to slits. Your mother's still in my hands. He shrugged into his coat and walked off. I swear, my blood pressure could power a railgun. I had no intention of doing what he asked. I sent him a quick "we're done," then tried to walk away. Sis. From the hospital bed, a frail Tiff suddenly spoke up. I left something back at home. Can you pick it up for me? What can I do? I'm a civil servant. 10 minutes later, holding the address Tiff had handed me, I arrived at what she'd called home. But the second I saw the abandoned factory, I finally understood that nasty look on Tiff's face before she left. My temper blew. Told myself the woman angling for both my kidneys wasn't going to have a shred of kindness. A pack of blonde punks sauntered toward me, grinning like wolves. Brothers, we're getting a free show today. Hell yeah. Thanks to Vance. Irritated, I yanked off my jacket. The creep across from me looked even hungrier now. Come at me, all of you, I said, short and sharp. Oh ho? Looks like this chick gets plenty of -1 punch. His jaw crumpled. Stupid bitch -1 kick. His skull almost flew off. 3 minutes later they were stacked like sandbags. Listen up, I barked, slapping the dust from my pants. If I weren't a federal agent, every one of you would be dead. I turned and saw an unexpected silhouette. Simon stood a few steps away, lips curled in a faint smile. Not bad. So thrilled, I accidentally punched him unconscious. He saw everything. What now? Better give him a memory wipe first. 9. I told the team how I'd waltzed in and landed the job without even a job interview. Pig Armor hooted beside me. Huh. Maybe he likes you and wants some office hanky-panky? Fatty added, or he spotted something special and plans to turn you into a lab rat. I studied Zachary's face. Was he worried about me? He only said flatly, finish the mission fast. All right, forget it. The captain isn't the same guy anymore. Ever since the virus disappeared and we met in real life, he no longer cheers me on. I still miss that gentle online captain I'd never seen in person. Maybe cyberromance is doomed the second the lights come on. 10. This is the CEO's office, the executive assistant said, leading me in. Morning, Hale. Simon lifted his eyes and spoke like an old hand, your tasks are light. Sit over there, I'll call you if I need anything. Looks like he doesn't remember last time. Sure. For the rest of the day I was sent on one weird errand after another. Water my orchids. I obeyed. Catch the office rat on the first floor. I obeyed. Third floor restrooms jammed, go unclog it. I obeyed. Sir, can we talk for a second? I swallowed my rage and tried to negotiate. Does he remember or not? Definitely feels like payback. Boss, any other chores around here? Simon stared at me, then shook his head. Like, cleaning, tidying the bookshelf, anything? I flashed a professional smile. He studied me a long beat. Oh. My place could use someone on vacuum duty. Vacuum duty again? 11-inch heaven's about to dump a big job on me. I'll do it. No toilet plunging, and more chances to snoop around. Then come this weekend. Clock out for today. I eagerly pressed the elevator button for him. What, you're happy because I asked you to vacuum my place? You could say that. Yeah, I nodded. Then I saw a flush bloom across Simon's usually calm face. Huh? Weird vibe, like that we walked out together. The building was almost empty. I shivered the second I stepped outside. Help! Help! A bizarre roar ripped through the night. I looked and saw a toad alien chasing civilians. Its pustuled skin and whipping tongue were nauseating. Yet Simon stood unruffled, his perfect profile as cold as ever. B-boss, aren't you scared? He shook his head. Bro, can you act human? You're really not afraid? His lazy voice made me shrink. To stay hidden I squeaked, I'm terrified, so scared. Simon eyed me, then actually dash if you're scared, come here. He opened his coat and drew me in. I jerked my head up from his chest. Are you trying to get yourself killed? Rich or not, you're still mortal. He gave a half smile. They say a guardian will show up to protect civilians. Let's wait and see. See what a guardian looks like? He spoke while staring at me meaningfully. I gulped. Had he figured it out? I'd love to see one too. The second I finished, the toad alien charged straight at us. Reflex took over. I whipped out my armor beacon. 12. Next instant his head lolled and he collapsed. Past the body I saw my teammates. Realizing my slip, I swallowed and babbled, B-boss, the news said you can scare monsters with this knockoff I bought on Amazon. Simon smirked. Is that so? He lowered his gaze to mine. Just when I couldn't hold it, Zachary stepped up. Alex. I turned. Zachary yanked me away from Simon. What are you doing standing so close to strangers? I gaped at him. Aren't you worried about blowing my cover? I glanced at Simon, he'd gone silent, eyes pinned to the wrist Zachary was gripping. Zachary's brow twitched. Another boyfriend? I shook my head. I don't even know him. Simon nodded knowingly, then pulled me back. Since you don't, come clean my place first. Hold on. Zachary blocked us again. Another boyfriend? Going to his house? Alex, you've got guts. Simon hit the Rolls-Royce fob right in front of him, tugging me along. Rich people's business, stay out of it. So under Zachary's glare Simon dragged me off. He didn't follow, from his eyes I could tell he was seething. 13 I stood in Simon's immaculate living room stabbing the floor with a broom. What was Zachary's problem, jealous? Funny, normally he ignores me, now he's throwing a tantrum. If he'd acted like that earlier I might still be into him. Alex. Simon walked over. Clean the study. Okay. I drifted to the study and kept stabbing with the broom, while peeking around. My eyes landed on a mysterious folder. I edged closer. Big letters on the cover, Hippo Care Manual. Simon's line of work is wider than the Pacific. 14 This heartless capitalist actually made me nurse his orchids overnight. He claimed some heartless oaf gassed them before. Why do I feel that's a dig at me? After an all-nighter, the tycoon finally granted mercy. You can ride with me to the office. That evening after work, Morgan showed up again, this time holding Tiff's hand. Monday, office drones. Resentment trumps ghosts. Back off, we're over. I snapped, about to leave. Yet again Morgan seized my arm. What now? I glared. Apologize to Tiff. I was all question marks. Connor, it's not her fault. I fell on my own, I stared at her flat stomach and got it instantly. You two are Morgan crushed my wrist. You will apologize today. Right then screams erupted, monster. Monster coming. 15 Watching the panicking crowd, I calmly lit a cigarette. World, how will you spin without me, your guardian? Connor. The alien bounded over, jaws wide, about to swallow Tiff's head. Tiff. Morgan dove to shield her, bystanders shrieked. I rolled my eyes at their doomsday lover act. Find the beast skipped them and came straight for me. Tiff sobbed theatrically while Morgan wiped her tears. Both of them are heartless. In this world, you really can only count on yourself. Connor, hurry up and go protect Lynn. I cracked my armor beacon and armor-upped. How could she be more important than you? One punch sent the alien monster flying. But I powered down again. A 3-second suit isn't just for show. Enough already. I roared at the two people beside me who hadn't actually worried about me for a second. Go home, kid. Don't make trouble for anti-armor. The next day I reported to Hale and got jaw-dropping news. Monsters have been swarming around the building lately. To protect my employees' safety, you'll move into my place and commute with me from now on. Simon's voice was flat, but I couldn't believe my ears. That doesn't sound appropriate. What if I need to run an op? What if I do something I shouldn't? You can come and go freely at my house. Oh, come and go freely. I pictured that 10 grand a square foot mansion and finally nodded. 2 days later I realized living together was a bad idea. First, Morgan kept dropping by to bother me. Simon scared him off once, but Morgan still couldn't accept our breakup and bombarded me with long apology texts every day. Sure enough, the unattainable is the most desirable. The grass is always greener in someone else's bowl. Second, as a public servant guardian, I instinctively protected Simon and nearly blew my cover more than once. One evening Simon and I were leaving the office when a car reversed straight at him. Lightning reflex, one punch caved in the rear end. We ended up at the precinct, sharing a smoke while I wrote a $20,000 check. You're a wild one. Simon's voice carried an edge. I instantly put on my most innocent face. I didn't mean to. At the business dinner the rival boss insisted on toasting Simon. Slave mode kicked in, I snatched the bottle and downed it. The whole table stared. It was a full fifth of white lightning. Please, do you know how big a hippo's stomach is? The deal was sealed, and I pretended to be smashed. Simon hauled me home, dumped me on the couch, and then started undressing. I jolted upright and yelled, "Daddy." Simon looked at me like I'd sprouted a second head. Damn it, I meant to shout mommy to scare him, but seeing him in that crisp white shirt, all male Buddha style, Daddy just slipped out. In the awkward silence my phone rang. Zachary. I answered groggily. Alex, do you still want the hippo plush in your room? Why's he inventorying my stuffed animals? What's up? Minister Tiffany's little daughter has taken a shine to it. A kid? Let her have it, then. That plush had been a gift from Zachary back when we chatted online. Now that he's turned out to be a jerk, I don't need the reminder. Humph, I hung up. Simon snickered beside me. Still making calls while drunk, the power of love. I rolled my eyes and passed out. That's Simon for you. I don't take it personally. During my 3 months of vacuum duty, he told me 10 times a day I was slacking. Good thing I'm a civil servant guardian. Who else would put up with his nasty temper? Next morning I respawned at full HP and resumed glorious slacking. Hey, show Alex, the espresso machine in the lounge is busted. Could you take a look? 2 female coworkers popped over. I stretched, ever the dutiful temp, and headed to the break room. It was after hours, the tower was almost empty. The instant I stepped in, the door clicked shut behind me. Enjoying your stay at CEO Shin's place these days? Stilettos clacked closer. I turned to see 2 twisted faces. Looks like they want a brawl. I haven't messed with either of you. Humph, the girl on the left sneered. You know exactly what you did. You flirted with the CEO and stole someone else's spot, and you dare ask? I rolled my eyes. 1. I haven't flirted with anyone. 2. Whose spot did I steal? The other girl glared. Mine. I was about to get my full-time offer, but thanks to you, parachute girl, I'm getting booted. Now I got it. ID seen her intern file, denied for performance failure. I slipped my hands into my pockets and studied her. Do you honestly believe that? Maybe my stare rattled her, she answered, of course, with less conviction. Before I could spell things out, she tossed something and bolted, locking the door on her way out. I looked at the little gadget she'd left. Nice pepper smoke grenade. The thing spewed eye-searing fog, and with the door sealed its power maxed out. Good thing I'd already armor-upped, the toy was useless against me. Lounging on the sofa in my suit, I pondered how to bust the door with minimum damages. Then came whispers outside. We won't actually kill her, right? Time's about up, let's just give her a scare. Maybe they feared real consequences. The lock clicked open. Smoke billowed. I watched them tiptoe in, goggled and masked. Mischief ignited. I stomped forward, boom boom, shaking the tower. While I cackled, the floor vibrated. The girls spotted me and screamed loud enough to pierce the skylight. They collapsed in terror. Mission accomplished. I was about to bail when Simon's voice rang out. Who's in there? Good boss, finally. But to keep my cover, I had to scram. Where to, though? I ducked into a corner and powered down. The instant I was flush again, an icy voice sounded behind me. Don't tell me, you ordered that suit off Taba? I'm dead. I fainted from sheer fright, terrified I'd lose my iron rice bowl. I woke in a hospital bed while Simon ushered the 2 coworkers in to apologize. I magnanimously forgave them, soon only Simon and I remained. I avoided his eyes, praying he wouldn't mention the armor. Pretty tough in a fight, but 1 sentence and you pass out. I have low blood sugar. I man dashed before he could finish. A gurgling growl erupted outside the ward. I instantly identified it, alien monster. I yanked the 4 from my arm and, barefoot, started evacuating people. My watch showed no alert. Looked like I was the only guardian who'd noticed. While I plotted, Simon yanked me into the restroom and locked the door. Stay quiet. He shielded me, calm and collected, but panic flooded my brain. Bro, you locked me in. What about everyone else? What about the people outside? Simon lowered his gaze. Aren't the guardians still out there? Buddy, news flash, the only guardian on scene is standing right in front of you. So I knocked him out cold. The corridor was clear. I whipped out my armor beacon and armor-upped, ready to punch the monster into orbit only to spot several black armor standing behind it. I glanced at my suits were meter crap, no way I can fight. Should I bail? While I hesitated, a black armor clocked me in the jaw. Blood sprayed the HUD. I refused to quit and blasted them with my sonic blast. But they feel no pain, and soon they swarmed me again. For rounds later I felt like loose bolts. One more hammer fist and this arm is going on strike. Just then the squad arrived and I noticed an unfamiliar armor beside Zachary. This time the monsters hit a high-end venue never happened before. Their low IQ usually just wander the parks. Zachary and I stood in a line with the others. They were battle-ready and drove the black armor back in a flurry of blows. Only a few ordinary alien monsters were left. The chicken-headed one lunged first, beak stabbing toward us. Watch out. To my surprise, the usually decisive Zachary actually idiotically threw himself in front of the rookie beside him. Dude, that's a Guardian suit. I rolled my eyes, charged in alone, and let the two of them act out their soap opera. 10 seconds later I drop-kicked all three monsters into KO land. The pair were still glued together when I powered down, my face streaked with blood. When they powered down too, I finally saw that the rookie inside the new suit was Tiffany Morgan's white moonlight first love. Tiffany. What are you doing here? Where's Morgan? Maybe it was the blood on my face or my saucer-white eyes, but Tiffany jumped like I'd electrocuted her. I broke up with Connor. No wonder Morgan had been spamming me with long apology texts. Boo-hoo-hoo. Girl, why are you crying? Zachary instantly barked at me, go wash your face. You're scaring Tiff. Oh, hell no. My temper detonated, I stomped so hard the tiles cracked and flipped the bench in front of me like it was cardboard. Think you're still the captain who flirted with me online? That's the tone you use on me? 24 seizing the 2-second window while they were both stunned, I splashed water on my face and ran back to find Simon. But the hospital room was empty. I searched every corner, no Simon. Crap, don't tell me the black armor grabbed him. They love kidnapping people for experiments. If Simon's really gone, we're toast. I sprinted to the base to report a hostage situation. Lynn, thank God you're back, Bella sighed. What's wrong? I asked, puzzled. Bella hesitated. Your room's gone. 25 gone? I hustled over and found Tiffany and Zachary standing in the doorway. The minute Bella and I showed up, they both looked over. Why are you back? Zachary asked flatly. I was breathing so hard with rage I could barely speak. What happened to my room? I strode up, pointing at the piles of luggage. Tiff's our new teammate. You're always out on missions and we're short on space, Zachary said like it was nothing, while Tiffany stayed silent. She'd sure been chatty enough when she whispered ideas into Morgan's ear. Now I learn the little sister who wanted my hippo plush is actually 2 years older than me. I stared at Tiffany, who was trying to vanish into the wallpaper. So, which position did you test for? Tiffany swallowed. Special recruitment, she whispered. Pathetic. Zachary stepped protectively in front of her, all macho glory. Tiff's dad is the minister. Nepotism, got it. I gaped at Zachary. I couldn't believe he'd coddle a poster child for connections. Zachary. I must have been blind when I fell for you online. 26 cursing done, we federal guardians with proper civil service rank got our act together and set out to rescue the hostage. I dialed Simon one last time, still voicemail. He'd definitely been snatched. We headed for the industrial zone the black armor favored and, sure enough, several hulks guarded the factory's dark gate. Nobody move, hippo armor incoming. I shouted, holding up my armor beacon at the massive doors. No answer. Weird, why was it suddenly so quiet around me? The gate creaked open. My pupils spasmed. Zachary and Simon were tied to chairs while big armored thugs loomed over them. I glanced back, my teammates had vanished. Choose one, the black armor leader intoned. I inched forward, heart hammering. Simon looked calm as still water, Zachary thrashed, mouth taped, eyes bulging. Can I pick both? I caught Simon's eyebrow twitch. Boss was losing patience. I choose right. Right. Whoever pays me is the real captain. Zachary, my dear cyberflame, stay in the cloud where you belong. 27 Only after I yelled did I remember we were face to face with the enemy. My left right was their mirror image. In my head I meant Simon, but the black armor goon's instructions must have been free Zachary. Heartless wretch, Simon muttered, face black as thunder. Too late, I yelped, left. Left. The black armor swatted Zachary flying. Through my shock I heard the mechanical voice, whoever you choose, we catapult the other. Nice. I honestly wondered if they'd taken his money first. 28-inch hippo armor, turns out your rank's pretty high. Post-battle accounting time. You're in bed with the black armor. Let's lay the cards on the table. I stood before Simon's desk, bravado leaking. Who told you that? His tone was icy. I flinched. The base investigators. Simon sipped his tea. I'm just a middleman. Middleman? Aiding abusers is still a crime. You don't want the world learning who you really are, do you? He said suddenly. I knew nothing good followed that line. Sure enough, I'm short a personal bodyguard you're hired. 29 And so I gloriously juggled several jobs at Simon's side. By day, senior white-collar professional, by night, steel-plated security detail. Boss, We bought the car, right? Yeah. Then can we please skip the night route? I stared at the monster that, by routine, had shown up again. I didn't even bother with the standard yell of don't worry, boss hippo armor's on the job. We'd walked this monster-infested night route so often people must think I'm grinding XP. What, not a civil servant anymore? Fine. I moved in and flattened it. 30 Occasionally Simon acted human-like tonight, when he chose a crowded road. Valentine's Day, the park hosted couple games and fireworks. I was thanking my stars we wouldn't be fighting when a sight stabbed me right in the eye, Zachary and Tiffany trying the couple cotton candy stretch challenge. Sticky sugar, stickier mouth's gross, my eyes burned. I actually teared up. Don't judge me, I'm a crybaby. Alex. Simon barked. I jumped. He glared at the 2 tears in the corners of my eyes, oddly furious. Still hung up on him? You fall for every guy you meet. Huh? 31 How do you soothe an angry boss not husband? I posted on a forum and got a flood of sleazy answers, kiss him. Jump him. Seduce him. Boss today, hubby tomorrow what's the diff? I slammed the laptop shut. Why was Simon mad because I'd lost focus on the job? Got it. Next day I bought him the best civilian self-defense gear money could find. Boss, hormones are running wild out there, strap this on. Simon eyed the contraption like it was trash. You're not protecting me yourself? His stare chilled. Heartbroken and slacking? Heartbroken? Not me. I just don't want you hurt, not even a scratch. I rattled off an ad slogan from a security company. Simon's face actually softened. You, seriously don't want me injured? I bobbed my head. Keeping you safe is my sacred duty. Fine. I'll wear it. 32 Simon looked ridiculous in that protective gear, but he didn't care. Ever buy anything like this for Zachary? Zachary again competing even here. Nope. He can take care of himself. Good answer shows loyalty. Simon's face, however, darkened. Must be true love. I blurted, I love you just as much. That only deepened the frost. Your love's awfully cheap. 33 Simon must be part rabbit the way he bolted. I'm in hippo armor, yet I still sprinted 2 whole kilometers after him, all the way out of the city, and still no sign of the guy. Impossible to coax. I was about to drop onto the grass for a breather when metallic clanging cracked behind me. I spun around and froze. An entire black armor squad had crept up without a sound. That rattling echo set my teeth on edge. I clutched my armor beacon and radioed headquarters. Hello? Captain. I'm surrounded by black armor. A pause. Hold out a little longer. Our team's just deployed to an alien monster incident outside town, they can't reach you yet. No chopper? Helicopters, need a stack of requisitions. But my armor's about to fail. Sorry. The answer came sharp and fast. A real guardian learns to sacrifice for the people first. Sacrifice? Screw that, I am hippo armor. I'm just hippo armor, nothing more. Strong and good at sonic blasts. I can't beat bleeding edge black tech. 3 minutes later my left arm was torn off, sparking like a broken toaster. Bro, drop the lasers. The black armor had quietly evolved again. Bro, I've only got one arm left. I wailed, fending off blows. 10 minutes after that I collapsed on the turf, armor in shambles. Can't fight, really can't. I swear I saw Grandma waving from the tunnel of light. Damn Captain. If I live I'm dragging him off that throne. People like him in management? Disaster. Ding ding ding. My phone rang. With my last gram of strength I tapped accept. I thought it was rescue, instead Simon's voice growled, "Where the hell did you crawl off to?" I refused to die with profanity as my final soundtrack, so I shot back, "Off to reincarnate as your dad." 35 I was stunned. The last call actually was backup, just a one-man cavalry. You came here to die. Simon's usually imposing frame looked miniature beside the black armor. Little Hippo, he called softly, a nickname I knew too well. I gaped. Back when I dated Captain Online he always called me that. Then Simon pulled a transformation device from his pocket. Wait, an armor beacon? I taught you this before. Try not to forget again. Huh? While I stood there blank, Simon armored up into a suit as tall as the enemy and punched. The black armors had exploded. Holy crap, so you're armor max. Then why pick on mini-me? I'm only a mini hippo. 36 must have passed out. I woke to Simon's dreamy gaze. Wait. Simon? Grogginess vaporized. You. His eyes cooled, as if last night never happened. Your captain just called to ask if you were dead. He tossed me his phone. I opened WhatsApp, a message from Zachary Dash, still breathing? Cold as ice, didn't expect the guy you crushed on to be this type, huh? Simon needled. Tears slid down. He shut up, voice softening, good thing you found out early, there's time. The tears gushed harder. Panicking, he yanked tissues and dabbed my cheeks. I lost it, who asked you to humiliate me? You think I'd like someone like that? I shoved my screen at him. Zachary's nickname still read, my doomed online fling, but his latest text said, I'm getting engaged to Tiff. 37 I know it hurts, but focus on healing, you almost got killed. Simon lowered his eyes, paring an apple. Then I remembered. Why did you call me Little Hippo? How do you know Zachary's pet name for me? His face darkened 3 shades. Zachary? So you even told him that? Liar. You said you only ever liked me. I gaped, clueless. When did I ever say? Suddenly it hit me, I froze. You called me Little Hippo. Don't tell me you hacked Zachary's account and read all our chats. Furious, Simon sprang up and slapped his phone onto my blanket. Look clearly who really owns that account. 38 It took me 3 minutes to digest Simon's stellar resume. Holy crap, he started working for the feds 10 years ago. So, the original captain was you. The captain handle was the official one, my online romance had been with him. You're undercover inside the Black Armor Corps now? Wait, then how did he get kidnapped by them last time? You were faking it. How'd you let yourself be abducted? He stuffed the peeled apple into my mouth. An apple a day. 39 I had to get back to headquarters. Not because of Zachary's engagement, just to clear my name. 1 minute earlier Bella had sent condolences for my death. 1 second more and HQ would have deleted my file. I kicked the base door wide. Inside, they were already playing funeral music. Everyone gawked. Zachary barreled toward me. "You're alive?" "Damn right, my life's too tough to end." "Hands on hips," I yelled, incompetent. "You don't deserve the title captain. I filed a whistleblower report to upper command. Marrying Tiffany won't save you." His face twisted. "Stop slandering me. We were short-staffed, that's why we couldn't extract you." I tapped my watch, pulling the combat log. "I deployed a full hour before I called you, then fought 60 minutes straight." "What, were you off slaying aliens on Mars?" Zachary had no comeback. "Plus you leeched off my online boyfriend fantasy for months, shameless." 40 at 18 I applied to become a guardian. Before the exam we entered a boot camp free of charge. The alien virus was raging, one slip and you were infected. For safety and 3 meals a day, I signed up. Training crushed us, but Captain was there. Naive as I was, I mistook the unit's official account for Captain's private line. Online, Captain cheered me on. After reviewing my scores he said I was born for hippo armor, so I chased that goal. Once the virus was wiped out I met Captain in person. Zachary. By then Simon had already been sent undercover and couldn't contact us. I clung to Zachary, but he brushed me off. Still, whenever I brought up our online romance, he never denied it, letting me dote on him until my fervor finally burned out. 41-inch Captain, how did you recognize me? We'd never even seen each other. Simon was reading his promotion for successful underwork file. Without looking up he dropped a bomb. "Your sonic blasts stink. The moment you run I know it's you." Tough review. I twisted my fingers. "Couldn't you be romantic? Online you weren't like this." Finally the right flavor. No wonder Zachary felt off. Simon gave a cold chuckle. "Seems to me you still chased him pretty hard." 42 Simon listed every cringe-worthy stunt I'd pulled for Zachary in meticulous detail. It was terrifyingly thorough. I cupped my mouth. "How do you know so much?" "Yeah, so much." His gaze sharpened. "You agree it's a lot, huh?" I deduced that as first captain he must have an inside informant at base. "No way Bella's your spy." Simon neither confirmed nor denied. No wonder she'd said Simon had a thing for me. I felt my cheeks burn. "Simon. I haven't heard you say it in ages, say it again." He played dumb. "Say what?" "That line you spammed when we were dating." "Oh." He spoke softly. "Baby, I love you." Thanks for listening to today's story. If you liked the video, please like and share with friends. We look forward to your thoughts in the comments. Feel free to share opinions, and don't forget to subscribe for more great stories. See you next time.